Hey guys, wanted to take a minute just to chat with you. I want to encourage you as your pastor and as a brother in Christ, um, just to think about how you can love your family well, how you can love your children well, how you can love your wife well right now. There's a lot of fear out there. There's a lot of insecurity that people are feeling. You'll notice yourself and others stress eating. You'll notice that there is a tension, maybe even an anger in the room, that we lack patience with each other. You'll notice yourself being susceptible to temptation and thoughts of anger and frustration. I was on a drive this morning up to Dawsonville about 7 o'clock. I left and got to spend about an hour processing what's going on in my own heart, thinking about where those thoughts come from, what emotions am I having, and what am I believing at the root of these things. And then was able to take those things to the Lord. But that processing is really important. Talking to friends and processing with friends, other guys, is really important. Figuring out how to work through these emotions that are present, whether you are aware of them or not, they're there. And if you have some self care and process some of these things, you'll be able to love your family much better than if you let things bottle up, kind of simmer under the surface until they explode. And then the damage is done. And that's why James says the wrath of man does not accomplish God's righteousness. Some things that my wife and I have talked about, some things that she has talked to me. So once you're kind of in a good place, and I do this typically at nights or very early in the morning, but once you're in a good place mentally and emotionally to engage, there are some things to think about. Number one, my wife told me that she wants to know we're on the same team, that come hell or high water, we're in this together. And she wants me to tell her that. She wants me to assure her verbally. But she also wants to see me jumping into the middle of the responsibilities and being a team player. When she's quarterbacking, I let her quarterback and I follow her playbook. There are some things that I quarterback and she follows my playbook. And being on the same team is real important. It communicates we're together. You're not alone. And I'm on board. I'm ready to pitch in. Secondly, my wife, I thought this was insightful. She said, don't ask me to be strong right now. My wife's a pretty tough cookie, but there are times when she just needs to let her emotions out. She just needs to express her frustration. And it's easy for me. I grew up watching Westerns and John Wayne characters who never showed any emotion and kind of have that built into my personality that I'm strong and you should be strong too. Our spouses need to be told that it's okay to be who they are. It's okay to be where they are. It's okay to stress eat. It's okay to break down and have an emotional outburst. It's okay to cry. We don't need to be asking them to be strong or be tough. We need to be there and let them be where they are and be with them. Thirdly, I guess, is she said, don't push my fear button. What she means by that is there's a lot of fear and insecurity going on right now. Do we go to the store and get groceries? Will I get the coronavirus when I'm at the store? Should we go out to eat? I might be more inclined to go out to eat. Let's go get some food. Will social distance or physical distance, as we're saying now, we'll practice good physical distance, but let's go out to eat. And that might create fear in my wife's mind. She shouldn't be asked in that moment to get over her fear and go out to eat with me. When someone expresses fear, we don't push them to confront their fears. Confronting someone's fears is a decision they have to make when they're ready and when they're convinced that they can confront it and survive. So don't push your wife to confront her fears or to do something that's going to create even more intense fear. If she's expressing fear or insecurity, don't ask her to hit the panic button. Okay? Work to diminish fear. Work to minimize it. And you can do that by making her feel safe and by saying, you know what, we don't have to do that. What about if I just make something for dinner? Or what about if we just alter our plans? Or I'll go do it, and I'll practice good hygiene while I do it. So maybe it's going to the store. She's afraid. Don't ask her to go to the store. You go to the store. Wear some gloves, sanitize, wash your hands when you get home, and alleviate some of that fear that she has. And then finally, my wife said, Tim, be vulnerable with me. It's easy for her when she's feeling emotion and I'm being stoic for her to feel alone. One of the ways to change that is for you to come home and say, here are some of my thoughts. Here's what I'm feeling. Here's how I'm struggling with this whole situation. I'm afraid of the economy, or I'm afraid that my job won't be there when this is done, or I'm afraid that we're not going to be able to educate our kids. That's a real one for us. We are not homeschoolers. So they'll be organized, but I'm not sure they're going to learn much. So expressing those fears will make it safe for her and help her feel like she's not alone. She's not the only one struggling. So these are great tips that I received from my wife that I want to pass on to you. More than anything, ask your wife. Sit and listen. Give her room to process and to share with you what she's struggling with. Guys, don't fix it. Just sit and listen. Please know that I'm praying for you. I'm praying for your marriages. This is a great opportunity for us to build trust and to build intimacy. And I'm praying that God will bless you to that endeavor.